who better than my next two guests to join me now to discuss a whole lot of impacts on the centre-right. Independent Liberal Moira Deeming, Senior Fellow at the Institute of Public Affairs, John Roscombe. Moira, welcome again. I saw you on Saturday night. John Roscombe, welcome as always. I'll start with you if I can, John. The numbers have been crunched in the Fadden by-election where the coalition won with a swing of 4.5%, a margin over 13% to PP. Interestingly, though, the swing to the Liberals in voting booths where there was a high rate of mortgagees was much, much higher than the overall swing. In those booths where people are doing it tough, got a big mortgage, they got a 9% swing. Now, what does that tell you about how cost of living is biting, and what sort of pathway does that give the Liberal Party across the country?
Well, it tells me, Peter, a few things: that the next election is winnable for Peter Dutton. It communicates that what the government and Anthony Albanese is talking about, which is the voice, is a long way from the day-to-day concerns of mainstream Australians. And mainstream Australians, we now know from polls, don't like the voice anyway. And it's also indicating that Australians don't think that the government is doing anything to bring down inflation, to reduce the cost of their mortgages, that Australians want a government that understands their cost of living pressures. And, Peter, I can say one other thing, that if the coalition adds a commitment to abolish or pause net zero and bring down power prices in a real way, you will see the next federal election being a real contest, as we saw in the Fadden by-election.
Well, you know this better than anyone, Moira. I mean, you represent the people in Western Melbourne. A lot are doing it tough. I think quite rightly, given recent events this week, the cancellation of that promise to extend the rail line, first granted them back in 2017, but scrapped this week with no justification. You understand why they're angry on a lot of these cost of living issues. What do you think?
Peter, the people in the western suburbs are just so sick of being lied to. Every single election, the Labor Party over-promises and under-delivers. And it's really starting to have a huge impact on their lives. Every time the cost of living goes up with petrol prices or food prices, it might not matter to people over closer to the tram tracks, but it matters to us out in the west.